She's a blue jean baby with her hat down low, chasing that wild wind wherever it blows, flying through the night just as fast as she can go. Yeah, it's one right, two left, riding like hell round that clover leaf pattern that you know so well. Sitting just right with the reins in her hands underneath the bright lights, chasing them cans. She's one of those nobody knows out making some noise. Yeah, she's a dark horse.
My first instinct when I found out that she was barrel racer, I thought it was really cool. I thought, you know, it's a part of the lifestyle that I've never been involved in. So, you know, it was a learning lesson for me to watch her do what she does. She's very good at it. I remember when Amanda first started coming to the pool table, she walked to the table like she was scared to death. You would think she was on death row. Over the years of practicing and getting comfortable with the game, she now walks to the table much more confident. But we used to tease her all the time, so like, you look like you're just scared to death at the table. It's not really the case anymore. She's pretty comfortable.
I feel like I'm a very competitive person. I put my whole heart into things. I play 3 nights a week, so I'm up here quite a bit after riding horses, and it's kind of a place to wind down. It's very strange if I don't feel well, or I have exercised too much or ridden horses too much that day, and I try to come and play pool. It's very physically exhausting. It's strange that actually your muscle memory is lost somewhat. This is Mike over here, and we got Jackson, he's 11. And then we have Shay right here, she's 13 years old. And Samson here, he's 3. He's our big old Great Dane. And Linus here, come here Linus. He's shy. He's our resident ranch dog. Yay! Good boy. Good boy. Come on, Samson. Come on. Come on.
Her dedication, her spirit, very kind. You won't find anybody that says they don't like Amanda. Amanda's the easiest going person ever.
Well, I start out my morning doing 4 different medications through my nebulizer. And I also wear this percussor vest, which I strap on, and it shakes me and it helps break all the mucus that is settled in my lungs. So what that does is help thin it. This helps break it up, that way it can come out. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disorder that causes thickened mucus throughout the body. It affects mainly the pancreas and the lungs. It causes pancreatic insufficiency. So I have to take enzymes with every meal that I eat to make sure that I absorb as much food as I can. And it also causes pretty severe lung infections. Eventually, throughout the years, it's always progressive. So throughout the years, it causes damage and scarring to the lungs, which causes lung function to go down significantly. Right now, I'm working on a little less than half a lung. So I have to try really hard to get all my treatments in and do what I'm supposed to do to stay compliant. with the physicians and make them happy and get all my stuff in that I want to do as well. I put it on intense, and it just shakes me, makes my voice rattle a little bit. And it goes in 8-minute cycles, so I got to keep pressing it. This takes about 30 minutes. I try to do it 3 times a day, especially if I'm riding horses. I try to take one before I go out and ride. Yeah, it's kind of my lifeline. If I don't have it, I can't function. You kind of have to plan life around it. You know, if I'm not feeling well and I'm going, man, you know, I can't ride my horses right now, or I have to stop and do 20 minutes of breathing treatments to go outside and be able to function even at a fraction of what everybody else does. On a good day, I can get 2 horses ridden before I'm wiped out. I think horses have been very instrumental in keeping me compliant with my medications, because I know if I don't do them, I can't ride. And I make sure that I do all the manual labor as much as I can that comes with the horses, because that's exercise. Gets my lungs going, it gets me breathing deeply. And so if at all possible, I unload my hay, I unload all my bags of grain, and I'll take treatments before I do all of that as well, because it's part of it. It's part of what I love, and it's part of the lifestyle. So I do what I can and even if it takes me an hour to unload my 8 bales of hay, I'll sit and I'll rest and I'll do it. And there are some days where I'm just like, there's no way, and I have to ask Mike to do it. But I try really hard to do everything that I can on my own. I was diagnosed in 1980 when I was 3 months old, and at the time survival was significantly lower than it is now. When I was diagnosed, they told my parents that I wouldn't live to the age of 13, and I'm 37 now, so I beat those odds, so that's good. Treatments probably end up taking about an hour and a half a day collectively, and so I try to multitask as much as I can by lifting weights while I'm sitting here, or sitting here with a laptop and work. You know, there's days where I am just exhausted and I'm going, okay, I really need to condition my horse and get out there and ride. And I do a lot of lunging as well. You know, there's days where I'm just going, there's no way. And I'll get out there and lunge them for 20 minutes. Or if I'm, you know, just getting out of the hospital and whatnot, I'll do that for maybe 3 or 4 days before I start riding again.
Amanda and I have never met, but I feel like I know her a little bit through my cousin Kendra Hayes, which is how I learned about Amanda, and I hope she's as excited to meet me as I am to meet her. Hello?
Hello!
Are you Amanda?
Yes.
I'm Dina Kirkpatrick.
Hi.
But when she told me your life story, I called Jay right up because I was like, that's a hero of mine. Barrel racing is fun and exciting and depressing and all these things, but the horses are just really a means to a bigger picture. And this is one of those big pictures. So I am very excited to get to know you.
Well, thank you. I don't picture myself as you know, anything special, but thank you.
But you are.
Well, thank you. I knew that I had a surprise coming, but I'm super excited that I got to meet Dina here and get to share my story with you. And thank you so much for coming all the way to Lubbock to meet me. A very nice man that my dad went to high school with put us in contact with the people at Make-A-Wish. And back in 1989, I was 9 years old, and all I wanted was to be a barrel racer and work at Dairy Queen. And
well, why barrel racing? Just, I'm so curious. When people, you know, when it's not something that was just placed in front of you, why you chose it?
Saturday mornings, the Mesquite Rodeo would come on TV, and that was kind of a family tradition. We'd sit and, watch that. We had one of those big satellites, you know, that, you know, the big saucers.
Giant,
Yes, so we were able to pick up that station. And they had no idea how to...
Because you didn't just want a horse, because you lived on a farm. So you wanted a barrel horse.
I wanted something that was already trained and kid-proof, bomb-proof, all of that. So they took their time to find the perfect horse for me. And that's when I got Pal. I wanted pink everything, pink tack, pink boots, pink pants, saddle pad. So this is my little Palomino here, in her mechanical hack back in the day.
I had one of those.
And they gave me pink barrels with my name on them.
Oh yeah, let's look at the pink barrels. That's funny.
There you go.
Your name is on there.
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome.
And I use them still to this day. They're not as in good of shape. There's some dents and rusted out bottoms on them, but I use them quite a bit. So, but yes, this horse took me through all of the learning stages of learning to ride, the do's and don'ts, and I would shimmy up her leg and get on. And
how old was she?
She was, I believe, 11 or 12 when I got her. I had Pal for probably 6 or 7 years and got a couple of babies out of her. I showed a futurity lunge line with the babies through 4-H and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So,
and where did you live when you were little?
At this point, I was in Dumas, Texas.
In Dumas, okay, right.
So when I was 16, there was another little girl that was wanting a horse. Through Make-A-Wish. Yes, through Make-A-Wish, and she needed a liver transplant. So they called me and my parents, I believe, to find out where they had gotten Pal. And at this point, I wasn't using her very much, and so she was a good. I passed her on to this little girl, and there's a picture of her. I can't remember her name now, but yeah, Pal served her good for many years, I believe.
Oh, what an awesome horse.
She gave me many years, and I'm glad that she was able to help somebody else out as well.
Yeah, that was big of you to let her go, because I know when I was that young, they were not just my horses, they were my best friends as well. I think all great horses are gifts from God, but the ones like this, they do a lot.
Yeah, I believe that horses have absolutely saved my life, and that doing all of the chores that are involved with them, and hauling hay and moving grain and cleaning stalls, that's actually stuff that I enjoy doing just because I'm able to do it. Yeah. And I'm thankful every day that I'm able to do that. So, and riding too.
That's real life.
Yes, yeah.
And I think we should all feel that way. I think we should feel thankful that we can clean our stalls and have a horse to clean up after. Because I hate to be overly emotional, because apparently your appearance shows no sign of weakness. And yet when I mentally try to absorb all that you've done growing up, I can hardly get my mind around it. But do you think that that's what has made you so healthy, for lack of a better way to say it?
Yes, I absolutely believe horses have helped tremendously, but just being involved with animals and the work that goes into keeping them conditioned and fed and cleaned up after, and moving feed and hay and all of that.
No time for self-pity.
Yes, I try very hard to do all of that on my own, and if I can't, I luckily have Mike to help me out, or if it takes me an hour to move 8 bales of hay, then that's the way it is that day, because I get pretty stubborn about doing
obviously
all of that on my own, because as I view that as I'm scared of progressing, And so I'm going, okay, if I can do this today, then I'm okay. If I can go run a mile, then I'm doing okay. Or if I can walk my 6 flights of stairs, then life isn't so scary. And eventually, I know that I will probably need a lung transplant, or I will need a lung transplant. There's no doubt about that. It's getting closer. The time is getting a little closer, and so I'm trying to fit in everything that I can, because I don't know. That's kind of unknown to me. As I get older, I realize that everybody kind of has something going on, whether it was a bad childhood or health issues or something that they're having to overcome. And it took me a long time to realize that everybody struggles somewhere, and you've got to rise above that. And I feel that my story helps with
helpful.
that. Mm-hmm.
I feel that
hope
your
it
story
does.
is super inspirational as well.
I hope it helps somebody understand that if you just put your mind to it, you can do a lot of things.
So I'll say it again, what I told her. The perfect circle is a circle that is equidistant all the way around the barrel. The barrel is the center point. And if you make a perfect circle, equidistant from the barrel in the center, the barrel will always stay naturally behind your leg, and the horse will keep forward momentum. So Amanda, your first 1D barrel horse is named Hank, correct?
Yes.
And tell me how you got him and how he's bred and your path with him.
Well, he's a grandson of Frenchman's Guy, and he's out of a Sunfrost mare. He was 9 when I got him, and he had been trained, but he hadn't been seasoned. He only had a couple of competitive runs under his belt, and he was running at the top of the 2D when I got him. And so since then, I've been hauling him and running, and we're doing fairly well now, and I'm really excited about him. He's a sweetheart.
And now he's in the 1D.
Yes, yes.
So he is advanced, so your seasoning is paying off.
Yes, yes, he does very well. So recently he's going to take a break for a little bit. He's doing some things that aren't quite normal for him.
And we talked about that, how he was doing so good, advancing beautifully, and then out of the blue, he started having a little bit of behavior, a little bit of dread in the alley and some stuff like that. And so you're doing the right thing. I think that giving them a break when they're telling you they need a break, and then finding what is going on with them and then bringing them back is way better than waiting for the horse to just completely spit it out. I honestly don't think that horses just overnight develop a bad habit. I think that something happens when they've been doing that good. So I'm really proud of you for letting him have a break.
So we were at one of the local arenas here in town, and I went out there and just made a smoking run. He did amazing, and I was really worried because there was a lady over in the stands sitting on the second barrel that had one of those umbrella hats on. I thought, oh my gosh, he's gonna fly off that barrel. But he handled it amazing, and we got home. We ran home, and I was going, oh my gosh, that was great, and I misheard my time. I thought it was a lot slower than I had actually ran. So I went back to my trailer and, just having those shoulda, coulda, woulda moments. And by the end of the race, we were up there kind of listening to the results, and they called my name first.
You won first.
Yes, and I was going, wait, is that a mistake? Because I heard my time completely wrong.
That is awesome.
But I knew that he had done great, and I just thought, man, he just didn't clock well.
Yeah.
But he
had clocked.
He had clocked well. My ears just weren't working that day.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
Yes.
That's a fun feeling. I don't care where you are, winning first is hard. Meeting Amanda has made me, once again, very thankful for my relationship with my horses. I love them a lot. She She's a barrel racer, and barrel racing brought her to a relationship with her horses and the animals when she was growing up. And the animals and her horses have helped her keep going, and I think that they do that for a lot of us.
Horses are near and dear to my heart. They are so kind, and those really wonderful horses try really hard for you. I enjoy them because I get to escape the hardships of reality and kind of everyday life and just go out and ride and relax. And other days too, it makes me realize how wonderful it is to be able to ride and be able to saddle a horse and move hay and do everything associated with the horses, because lots of times those chores can be a pain, but take a moment and realize that it's also a blessing that you are able to do it. And I am thankful that I can do this every single day, whether it's getting on and just walking around, or long trotting a few miles, or working on the pattern, or going to a jackpot or rodeo, and just doing what I love and enjoying that every second that I'm able to do that.